Alright everyone, this is gonna be my last reaction video for the day. I'm super sleepy, even though I just slept 4 hours. But yeah, Collonello keeps putting out bangers. I did not know he uploaded this frequently, but this one is called Why RuneScape's Strongest Armor Never Released. So let's check it out.
This is what RuneScape's strongest helmet looked like if it had released just a few months earlier.
Whoa.
Let me explain.
Man, it sucks they canceled RuneFest, guys. Does Martin Mark even still work with the company?
So, the Fremenic Isles is a quest released in 2007.
Quite a while ago.
Where you have to help the feuding islands of Ne Tiznat and Ja Tizo
I recently did this quest, it was kind of fun.
come together and defend against a troll invasion. After doing so, you're rewarded with the Ne Tiznat helm.
Was best in slot back in the day, but not no more, guys.
The best helm
Actually, it still kind of is. Because, like, the Basilic Jaw, I think it gives, like, negative magic attack or something, right? I believe.
helmet in the game at the time. Originally, instead of getting the Ne Tiznat helm as a reward, you would have instead been given 2 halves of the then legendary and highly requested Dragon Full helm. Presumably, you'd find or receive 1 piece on each island, and you would then smith it together. Nobody knows why it was later switched to the Ne Tiznat helm, but it's probably because this version of the Dragon Full helm
It's like a cosmetic item you'd get from, like, a holiday event. Not gonna lie, that's the kind of design it gives out the vibes as.
looks like it belongs in a wrestling ring, or a couple's dungeon.
This is no orc dungeon.
Wait, how do you get cat ears? What the?
Dragon Full helm did release a few months later, it went under a big redesign that fit the game much better. Although the original design was somehow never deleted from the cache, just about everything else in this video eventually was. This is a process that Jagex goes through a lot, adding something to the game
Not gonna lie, they do.
files,
Imagine if J-Mod streams them doing, like, design more often. That'd be kind of cool.
never releasing it, and then deleting it forever without making a backup.
That is pressed on a laptop.
Next time you open RuneScape and there's
RuneLite!
a new update, the files
Why is he opening RuneLite on a Windows 8 PC?
get deleted from your computer and updated with the newest ones. Most of the time, us players never even knew whatever got deleted even existed in the first place. Luckily for you, today we have a lot of deleted content that's recently been uncovered by the RuneScape Archive project thanks to players like you. Some of this stuff
Yay!
I'm sure that Jagex wishes everyone forgot. So, keeping with the theme of dragon equipment, this is the dragon plate body, or at least this is how it looked when it released in 2008.
Man, they had mythical dragons back then, but they were so hard to finish for me. I was like level 85.
I think it looks pretty cool, but a lot of players absolutely hated this design. The main complaints were that the shoulders made their character's posture look as bad as their posture in real life, the arms looked like noodles, and it overall seemed underwhelming for such a legendary item. As a result, just 4 months later, it
Oh man, remember the RuneScape homepage back then? It looked so trippy, man. Trippy.
was slightly
Like, it actually featured the main thing, the most recent update, like in a more pronunciated way, basically.
redesigned to look more proportional, and players seemed happy. Well, since players hated the design it released with, they would have really hated the pre-release design. The shoulders were even taller, the iconic dragon logo was missing from the front, and it could be the angle, but it looks incredibly slim. But believe it or not, this is probably not the worst design you're gonna see in this video today. Maybe Jagex should have taken some design notes from today's sponsor, Bespoke Post. They're a monthly membership club that delivers a box of awesome top shelf
Miniature indoor fireplace for reals.
goods from under the radar brands.
Let's get this, guys.
90% of their products come from small brands. Many of the box is around 7 to cool new products, like 20%
The fireplace sounds super cool. We actually got one in the picture right there.
off your
Ooh,
first
look
box
at those!
of awesome
Look at those slippers, man. I would totally rock those, man. Right now I just use flip-flops.
Click the link in the description and enter Collonello20 at checkout, or go to bespokepost.com/Collonello20. There's one more piece of pre-release dragon equipment that I want to show you, and
Oh, that looks like a face. What the flip? You guys saw that, right? You guys saw that, right?
it might be the strangest one yet. So first off, this is what the dragon pickaxe looked
Dude, that looks like mega HD, bro. Is that taken from RuneScape 3?
like when it first released. Not bad.
No way, no way.
Pretty cool. But this is what Jagex was originally thinking. It sort of
What the
just looks like
flip? Kind of looks like a RuneScape pickaxe.
Something
The
designed
dragon pickaxe, though.
by
Just
Flat
just a lot more, yeah, thin, right?
Stanley, if that reference isn't too obscure. Now this design actually got further into production than you might expect. When the final version of the pickaxe was finished and added to the game, it was also given a page on the website's knowledge base.
Knowledge.
In this picture of a player using the pickaxe's special attack,
Powerful attack that which drains 5% of your opponent's attack range and defense. Attack range and magic. This attack takes longer to perform than a normal attack.
if you look very closely, you can see that it's actually the old pre-release model. You were so close, Stanley.
It actually had combat related special attack instead of skilling. No way.
So close. Now, there's two pieces of dragon equipment that you've probably used a ton and don't even know it. So for this one, we have to take it back to 2005. Jagex wanted to add a Jagex moderator tool to the game to allow their staff to do things like open the bank anywhere or speed up farming cycles without having to type out confusing commands. This item would later become the very iconic rotten potato, but it took a while before Jagex
Anyone remember that video? He actually pickpocketed the rotten potato from a J-mod. I think this Collonello guy might have made a video. So if we find that video, someone has to have made a video about it, and we'll react to it later, because I was there when it released.
settled on that name. They wanted to disguise the item, so players digging through game data wouldn't be able to figure out what it is.
Game data.
Before settling on rotten
Wait, that's Bodhi. Oh, this is actually Jagex footage. It's not stock footage.
potato, there were suggestions like dragon sponge and dragon toothpick, but
What the? Dragon sponge and dragon toothpick.
obviously those would stand out, so the rotten potato was chosen instead, especially because it would blend right in with the farming skills launch. Even so, the toothpick and sponge weren't forgotten, as they would soon appear in RuneScape's cache as different items when the
You guys think that's how gold bars should really look?
Blast Furnace minigame released a month later. Whenever you ride the pedals on the northern side of the furnace, your character actually equips an invisible animation item called Dragon Toothpick. And
They should call it Dragon Bicycle.
whenever you operate the pump to the south, you equip a Dragon Sponge. Now, like I said earlier, you can't actually see the items because they're invisible, but
Facts.
they're there. If you're not convinced, here's what they actually look like if you were
That hardly looks like a sponge though, but that looks like vaguely a toothpick, but those look like iron, not dragon.
somehow able to get one in your inventory.
Whoa!
If you can't tell, it's pretty much just pixelated versions of those same Blast
Basically.
Furnace pieces. Now, let's move on to something a bit more controversial. You've probably seen RuneScape's salute emote. It looks like this. Other than
Anyone remember the minigame they released with it? I never even tried the minigame. I never even attempted it. Actually, maybe once or twice. You could actually imbue your rings. They made a minigame where you can imbue your rings at, and they never released it in old school RuneScape.
not looking anything like the picture, it's not very noteworthy, or so it would seem. The emote actually used to look a little bit different. Yeah, for a second or two there, it looks quite a lot like another well-known salute from 1930s Germany. When Jagex changed it to the version we have today, I don't know why I find this so funny. They just gave the most generic message they could have. The salute emote has been changed in response to feedback from players.
Man, back then we were using the forums to communicate, bros. The actual forums. But there's a third-party forums we would use, which is scythe.org. and people would post like threads of their like account progress and stuff. It was very cool, man. I checked there every single day. There's also like a little PK section where you show off loot and stuff. It was awesome, man. But we didn't have Reddit back then.
Okay, moving on.
And it was kind of good because like you could maintain a thread on Reddit. You can't really maintain a thread. You gotta just like make a new post because it like there's always new posts every day. Can't maintain a thread. They're definitely not forum style. Forums died when Reddit came out, man, for sure.
One of
Or at least very much close to died.
RuneScape's
I'm sure there's some forums that are still alive nowadays.
most iconic characters is the Wise Old Man.
But yeah, I think it was zybez.org. It might still be up today.
He's featured in tons of quests, concept art, anniversary events, and now he's even the guy who congratulates you when you finish a quest using the Quest Helper plugin. Something
I never had that guy appear and tell me I finished the quest. It must be
that scared the shit
something you toggle on.
out of me the first time it happened at 3 a.m. Anyway, he's a famous and beloved character. Not a bad comeback for a guy who's most famous for robbing a bank and murdering innocent players. He even stole a party hat from one. Despite being so iconic, he actually didn't exist for the first 4 years of RuneScape's history, but his house did. Before the Wise Old Man moved in, it used to look like this. Instead of entering his house from the bank side, the door was flipped to the other side. Once he was added to the game, along with all his belongings, a door was added to the other side of the house. For
Let's go. The Wise Old Man, he built the house or something, I don't know.
some reason, the original door was later removed and replaced with this Bob Ross-esque painting. I wanted to include this
That totally looks like Bob Ross' paintings, bro. Not gonna lie.
one because it's just so hard for me to imagine this house without the Wise Old Man. I had never seen the original design in RuneScape 2, and it's weird to think that if Mod Ash had never come up with the idea for the Wise Old Man, this house would just be another empty generic building. Now, this isn't the only time old scenery has been repurposed in RuneScape. When you get 99 in every skill in old school RuneScape, you unlock the ability to purchase the Max Cape from Max on Max Island. That's a mouthful. In order to reach the island, you have to complete a few challenges. You chop a tree that needs 99 wood cutting, mine a rock slide that needs 99 mining, and so on. Well, that tree you chop down
That'd be cool if they had something that required every single skill, but they don't, unfortunately. Just a few skills.
has actually existed since the RuneScape 2 beta.
What?
A Jagex staff member
I
was
didn't even know they had the beta for RuneScape 2. I thought they just released it.
adding new scenery north of the White Wolf Mountain, likely because the render distance in RuneScape 2 was much further than in Classics, and they didn't want players to just see nothing. That random developer didn't know it yet, but 14 years later, that tree would become an iconic part of completing the game. Kinda like how you probably didn't know you used to be able to play as a demon. Check that video out on the right.
Well, very good video, Collonello. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the
It's
video
very
creator
well known now that
in the
old school RuneScape
description. And peace out, everyone.